Harley Keeble sits on pole position in the 306. Vortex-powered Tony Kart, welcome back to ADRIA. This is the junior final as you look at the English pole sitter. We'll take a look at the grid for you in just a moment. It is an all-English front row of the grid with Harley starting alongside Freddie. Keeble with a dominant run in the pre-final this morning. There he is to the left of your screen. Vortex-powered OTK karts on the front row of the grid. There's Freddie to the right now in the centre of your screen. Fast Freddie Slater from the Midlands of England, not too far from the Donington circuit. A great run this morning, starting a place ahead of his teammate from Switzerland. And you're fray for Ricky Flynn Motorsport, the Vortex-powered Cosmic karts. And on the outside of the second row of the grid, the former Slovenian ski racer. Yes, this is Mark Kostelic in the 333X Spree. So we've got the OTK karts, 1, 2, 3, 4 on the grid. The Tony Kart, the two Cosmics, and the X Spree. Mark Kostelic starting out of grid 4. This is 301. He won Le Conca, the second round of the Supermaster Series. It's the Jamaican sensation, Alex Powell, out of grid 5 in the Miami-powered Kart Republic alongside Yevon the Bat David. Sensational performance from the Sri Lankan. Two drivers from Jamie Croxford's Forza Racing team inside the top 6. The GFR-tuned TM engines. This is Yevon the Bat, 329. A stunning performance earlier this afternoon in the pre-finals. Lines up on grid 6, the outside third row of the grid. As you look at the driver from Florida, USA on the other side of the Atlantic Ocean, James Agozzi. We'll circle back to the American throughout the race. We'll keep an eye on the American drivers, quite a few of them racing here, back with us here this weekend. This is the Italian Francesco Marangi, finished on the podium at the first round of the series, the 360. Kart Republic of Marangi finishing in P3 behind Harley and Rashid Al-Daheri. As you look at the Russian, this is Kirill Kutskov on the inside, fifth row of the grid in the Kart Republic, alongside another KR of a WSK Series debutant, Leonardo Baccalini, not only making his debut in WSK racing, but also won his final heat yesterday. Let's take a look at the grid for you. Harley Keeble on pole position alongside Fast Freddie. In your fray, the two Ricky Flynn Motorsport drivers starting second and third. And it's Mark Kostelic, Alex Powell, Yevon David, James Agozzi, and Francesco Marangi. Kirill Kutskov that we just saw a few moments ago. 335, the Kart Republic, and Leonardo Baccalini, the Italian, out of 10. Then we go to Enzo Dellini, Anatoly Kavalkin, Matthews Ferreira, Maxim Rem, Rashid Al-Daheri. He dominated the season opener, but the boy from Abu Dhabi in the Emirates starts back on 15. Wisniewski, Gauda, Gubenko, David Walter, the fastest qualifier alongside Dowie Dedeka. For Koski Motorsport, won 4 out of 4 heats, but a disaster in the pre-final this morning. Matviv, his teammate for Koski Motorsport, out of 21 alongside Apicella, Maciej Guadic, Thomas Polchormanis, Hernandez, the Texan, Xander Reed, Yannick Shirowski, Maximilian Ops, Martin Molnar, and Miguel Costa. The final few rows of the grid, Konstantin Krap in the Russian for Ward Racing, the Emirati Italian Matteo Quintarelli, Akshay Bora, the American-born Singaporean, and all the way from Vereniging on the outskirts of Johannesburg. In South Africa in the 373 CRG, it's Nicholas Roos. Scrapes into the final, does Nicholas. His father Etienne just arriving at the circuit, just arriving in Europe on Friday night after another treacherous voyage. I think Livingston had an easier time 100 years ago than the South African drivers have these days making it into Europe. Etienne here to see his boy Nicholas start out of grid 34 as we get ready for the final, the all-English front row. Welcome to Adria. This is round 2 of the WSK Euro Series. Harley leads them up to the line. The 16-lap final for OK Junior. We race! Slater misses the start. Enya Frey, Alex Powell send it down the inside. Powell up into third place. He's got Ricky Flynn Motorsport drivers ahead and behind. Good start by the 3-3-5. The Kart Republic of the Russian Kirill Kutskov. Carnage further back in the pack. We've lost the Tony Kart. We'll get back to that in a moment. It's Alexander Gubenko and also Matteo Quintarelli. So a perfect start for Harley Keeble. Leads into the hairpin. Alex Powell sits in third. Slater and Enya Frey. Enya's up into second place. The Swiss driver for the Ricky Flynn Motorsport team. This is the best performance we've seen from Enya. In fact, I'm sorry, it's Slater in second, Frey in third, Powell in fourth, and Kutskov 5. Rashid has had a disaster. The series leader was also caught up in that accident at the start of the race. Rashid Al-Dahedi has not come round. Is the series over for the Emirati? There he is at the bottom of your screen. Walking back to the pits, he's out. What a disaster for Rashid Al-Dahedi. Harley Keeble in the lead from Freddie Slater. The English drivers 1 and 2, but they trade positions. Slater sends up the inside, and Harley goes back to second place. RFM run 1-3. That's Alex in fourth place. Kastelic P6 is the Slovenian for the Forza Racing team. Rashid, what a sensation. He's out. He's come together with Matteo Quintarelli, the two Emirati drivers, along with the Russian Alexander Gubenko. We started with 34, we're down to 31. As Enya goes down the inside. And Ricky Flynn, proud of his charges in the early stages of this race. They run 1-2. Harley back to third. Slater disappearing down the road on this, the third lap of the race. There's Kastelic. As Alex loses places, Kastelic was the quickest driver a few moments ago on the circuit. Let's see if the Slovenian can cause an upset here this afternoon for the legendary Forza Racing team, who've had so many great drivers over the years. We think of the likes of Robert Schwartzman, George Russell, the Pau Grand Prix winner, Billy Munger, and more recently, Johnny Edgar, and of course, Dexter Patterson. Mark Kastelic in P4, Ricky Flynn Motorsport, yeah, they've had their share of top drivers as well. 5 times world champions, of course, most notably with Lando back in 2014. They run 1-2, Freddie and Enya. So Rashid Al-Dahedi is out. That will affect the championship big time. As it stands in the virtual series, 177 points for Harley Keeble, Slater on 136, Rashid 108, but he'll get nothing out of this afternoon. He's one of 3 retirements, along with Alexander Gubenko and Matteo Quintarelli. So now the race settles down. Enzo Dellini is the fastest driver on the circuit in P10 in the 3:44 Paralin. Slater, Frey, Keeble, and then Kastelic 1 step off the podium. The Union Jacks on our timing screen said 1 and 3. As you get a glimpse of Matteo Quintarelli's card in the background. And also that to the left of your screen of Alexander Gubenko. There's Jevan David going through. The Sri Lankan has fallen back to 13th. Head of Francesco Marangi, the Italian, on the podium at the first round of the championship at Lonato. It does not look as though he'll repeat. As Kastelic goes down the inside, the Slovenian goes to P3. Mark Kastelic for Forza Racing is on the podium. Harley falls back to 4th. Kutskov in P5 goes to Moscovite. Head of Agotzi, Powell, Matthews Ferreira, another Russian in Anatoly Vulcan, and Enzo Dellini, another fastest lap for the American, French, Chinese driver, flying the flag for the Paralin team, 3:44 in position 10 after the sensational retirement of his teammate Rashid Al-Dahedi. Slater 0.3 of a second ahead of his teammate Enya Frey. It was not so long ago that we saw Enya racing in the 60 mini category. Has found a home at the Ricky Flynn Motorsport team, runs in position 2 in round 2 of the WSK Euro Series, but he is being caught by Mark Kastelic. the TM-powered Esprit in position 3. Catching the Vortex-powered Cosmics in 1 and 2. Harley, the Vortex-powered Tony in P4. And the first kart not manufactured in Pravale. It is that of the Russian Kirill Kutskov, the Kart Republic in position 5. There's Dowie Tedeka going through. He's just ahead of Miguel Costa, Zander Reed and David Valter. What's happened to, well, this afternoon, the not-so-great Dane. He was scintillating in qualifying. The Koski Motorsport driver was just playing with the field. Fastest qualifier was David Valter with a 48.821. So well over a second faster than they're lapping here this afternoon. And he won 4 out of 4 heats. He dominated. His teammate, Dmitry Matveev, actually runs behind him on the track at the moment. But they're down in 21st and 22nd positions, respectively. As we get back to the lead for the front. And Kostelic has split the RFM drivers with a nice move just a few moments ago. So Frey falls back to 3. Kutskov has gone by Harley Keeble as well. And it's a Gotzi, Alex Powell, Matheus Ferreira, Kavalkan, Enzo Deligny. Superb performance from Freddie Slater to lead 0.6 of a second over no longer his teammate but Mark Kostelic. Just to conclude that point on David Valter, as we approach half race distance, he's just done the fastest lap of the race, but he's down in 22nd place. What could have been for the Great Dane? Half race distance, Slater, Kostelic, Enya Frey, Kirill Kutskov. Let's see if the Russian can get up onto the podium and break the OTK dominance. 0.6 of a second. Kostelic fired up this weekend from just over the border in Slovenia. Gave up a promising career, a potential Olympic career as a downhill ski racer, to pursue his dream as a professional racing driver. And he's in P2 at the moment. He's dropped off Enya Frey so slightly. He's certainly closing in on the back of Slater. There's Keeble, Agozzi, the Tony Kart teammates in 5 and 6. Ahead of Alex Powell, Matheus Ferreira, Anatoly Kavalkin. The gap last time, 0.6 of a second. It's down to half a second. Actually, slightly more than that. He's coming. Kostelic has got Slater in his sights. Mark Kostelic driving brilliantly here this afternoon. The only thing stopping him standing on the top step of the podium in round 2 of the WSK Euro Series is the reigning junior world champion, Freddie Slater. That and a very quick Ricky Flynn Motorsport Cosmic Kart, powered by the Vortex, Kostelic with the GFR tuned TM engine in 2nd place. He's got the target, he's got Slater in his sights from the Midlands of England for the British team. Freddie Slater, there's 6 laps to go at the end of this one. Kostelic is fired up. What's the victory? It's down to 0.4. Mark Kostelic has got him in his sights. Kostelic is coming for Slater. OTK run 1, 2, 3, but it's the Esprit 333 in 2nd place. The gap was 0.6 of a second, 0.5, another 10th. So at this rate, he'll catch him on the penultimate lap, but you know motor racing does not work like that. Kirill Kutskov has caught up to the back of the Swiss driver Enya Frey as well. Ricky Flynn Motorsport, they were looking at a 1-2. At the moment, they may just get one kart on the podium, and it may not be in 1st place. They go down through the chicane. Over the line, the gap this time, 0.4 of a second, goes purple, does Mark Kostelic. A slight improvement. 50.019 to Mark Kostelic, the fastest lap of the race. There's the confirmation at the bottom of your screen. Slater, 50.08, so nothing in it but by a few thousandths of a second. Kostelic is catching him. He is catching him big time. Kostelic has got 4 laps to go at the end of this one. And he's got 0.4 between himself and Freddie Slater. He needs to keep the Vega tyres alive going into the final few laps, which we're approaching now. Round 2 of the WSK Euro Series. Slater down into turn 1. This time Freddie responds. This time Freddie, he's the only driver into the 49s. He goes purple with a 49.942. Now he pulls away from Kastelic. Slater, can he take the victory? Harley Keeble in position 5 still leads the championship. Going into the final round of the championship at Sarno in 2 weeks' time. Kastelic desperately wants the victory. Jamie Croxford nervously watching on from pit lane. Can he take a victory? The team that finished 1-2 with that dominant performance in the World Championships in 2017 at PFI, when Dexter Patterson led home Chris Lullum. Mark Kastelic, can he stand on the top step? Still 0.4 of a second. Has he fired all the bullets in his holster? Whatever the saying is, you know what I mean. Is his chance gone? Enya Frey still defending from Kirill Kutzkov. There's Harley and James. The Tony Karts in 5 and 6. The fight for the lead. Slater, Kastelic now responds with the fastest first sector of the entire race. Slater tries to keep the wheel as tight as possible, as clean as possible on the exit, trying to get the drive. It's Vortex versus TM. It's Cosmic versus Esprit. The chassis are virtually identical. Slater gets a better run down through the chicane. Oh, Kastelic is sideways. That will cost him time. He was closing in on the back. He's still done the fastest lap of the race. No, it's not over yet. 0.3 of a second. So despite that small error, Kastelic is actually catching him. There's Kutzkov trying to stand on the podium. He's the Russian and break the OTK stranglehold. Kastelic, the penultimate lap of the race. It will have to be one almighty send to take the lead away from Slater. Nervously breaks into the right-hand sweeper. Kastelic honing him on the back of him. He's about to go into the hairpin and then go down the straight to get the last lap board. Kastelic driving as hard as he possibly can. His father here at the circuit, so nervous. It looks as though Slater's got it though. His father, Adrian, also here at the track. The gap goes out to 0.4 of a second. Ironically, David Valter down in 21st place has just gone quicker than the both of them. What it could have been for the Great Dane. He'll finish way down the order. We'll see him back in Sarno for 2 weeks' time though. Slater, Kastelic, run 1-2. Kastelic won't do it. Freddie's too good. Into the right-hand sweeper for the final time. This is the last lap of the weekend. Round 2 of the WSK Euro Series. Freddie will not make a mistake. Into the hairpin for the final time. The last opportunity. Mark is too far back. It's been a brilliant drive. But fast, Freddie Slater comes around onto the straight to take the checkered flag. Slater wins a nail-biter. Round 2 of the WSK Euro Series here at ADRIA Karting Raceway. Kastelic home in second place. Enya Frey makes it an RFM 1-3. The Swiss driver on the podium holds off Kirill Kutzkov for third place. Let's take a look at the highlights of the junior final. Of course, the sensation was prior to the start. Rashid Al-Dahedi was out after just a few hundred meters. He's still third in the championship. Alexander Gubenko also retiring at the start. As the Ricky Flynn Motorsport drivers, they were briefly running in at 1 and 2. Enya Frey, Harley Keeble going side by side. Freddie Slater from pole position, from the lead. Mark Kastelic though, great drive from him. Starting from grid 4 in the 333 Esprit, comes home to take second place. Slater wins round 2 of the WSK Euro Series here at ADRIA. Slater in P1. The Englishman from the Slovenian, and Enya Frey, great to see him on the podium in third place. Then it was Kutzkov Harley Keeble, P5, and he's the series leader going into Sarno. Then we go to Agotzi, Fajera, Powell, Deligny, and Anatoly Kavalkin, the Russian, coming home in 10th place. Of course, from here we go to Sarno in 2 weeks' time to decide the titles. The Euro Series, which dates back to 2010. The former winners of the junior category, the first ever winner was in fact Max, 2010 driving a Max-powered CRG. These are the results of round 2 here this afternoon. Slater, Kostelic, Frey, Kutzkov, Harley P5 with the series lead from Agotzi, Fajera. Alex home in 8th place ahead of Enzo Deligny, and Anatoly Kavalkin rounds out the 10. Stay with us on WSK.IT, the podium. Presentations for the OK Junior Final live from ADRIA in just a moment. So the two Ricky Flynn Motorsport drivers are joined by the Forza Racing team driver. So it's the two English teams, not the factory teams, who finish at 1, 2, 3 here this afternoon. Ricky Flynn Motorsport and Forza Racing finishing 1, 3 and also 2nd respectively here today. Harley Keeble with that 5th place is the series leader. The 2021 WSK Euro Series, he finished 5th this afternoon. He finished 2nd at the opening round of the championship. That was at Lonato. The series to be decided in 2 weeks' time at Sarno. You may have just heard, just closing off, that the first ever champion, it was KF3 as it was called 11 years ago, was Max, the Dutch boy, as he was then, winning the inaugural WSK Euro Series in 2010 aboard a Max-powered CRG. How times have changed. We're about to award a new champion in 2 weeks' time. We will award the podium here this afternoon for the 3 drivers as they make their way up to the podium. Enya, Mark, and of course, Freddie. The podium presentation for the OK Junior Final, round 2 of the WSK Euro Series. In 3rd place for Ricky Flynn Motorsport from Switzerland, Enya Frey. Second place from Slovenia for Forza Racing, Mark Kostelic. The winner of round 2 of the WSK Euro Series 2021 here at ADRIA, from the Queen's England for Ricky Flynn Motorsport, this is Freddie Slater! The national anthem of Great Britain. The junior final here at ADRIA. In third place, Anya Frey. Second place, Marcus Delich. Freddie Slater takes the victory here at ADRIA. So that is the podium. It's been another brilliant event here at ADRIA Karting Raceway. On behalf of all the staff at WSK Promotion, we'd like to say thank you very much for watching. Stay with us, boys. We'll see you at Sarno in 2 weeks' time for the series decider for the WSK Euro Series 2021. Ci vediamo a Sarno.